to the Fixing Football podcast with me, Martin Naylor. It's Scott Naylor tonight. It's just the two of us. Liam has fled the country. There's some wild accusations going out there. I don't want to be spreading any rumours. I can neither confirm nor deny that it is to do with a certain documentary coming out about a hip-hop and R&B mogul from the 90s and early 2000s. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know. Me personally, I don't know. I do have a written statement from Liam. I never done nothing, weren't me, shut up. And you know that's genuine because it's in crayon.
Yep.
And that is straight from him. So we're here to talk about serious things and not get swept up in, rumours. I don't know if there's any truth to them. I stay well away from that side of stuff.
Well, we've got insurance for this kind of thing, haven't we, Martin? That's the thing. We knew going in that there may be a battle down the road, much like the Chelsea owners.
We were playing with fire from the start.
Yeah, we thought it's worth the risk, but sometimes you got to pay the piper eventually. And I think
we'll see. Hopefully he'll be back soon on these shows and be able to, put our minds at ease. That being said, Scott, a massive weekend. I think it's only right to speak about our clubs and the match of the weekend. There's a lot of other Premier League stuff going on as well. There's loads to talk about. There's always loads to talk about.
There is.
But Arsenal v Chelsea, let's just get straight into it. We've not done like a review episode really for a long time.
No, we've not, have we? It's been a while since we've properly got our teeth into... I think you said there's a lot going on, but this was the only thing that mattered this particular weekend, I think.
We've also got a lot of action. There's a lot of midweek games this week, so we can get stuck into them in terms of a bit of a preview, depending on when you listen to this, whether you'll know that I'm happy again or I'm still a bit annoyed. Coming off the back of a great week, beaten Bayern Munich. I mean, Chelsea beat Barcelona as well, so we both had our tails up, if you will.
Yeah. North London derby for you as well, coming off the back of that same week.
Fantastic week. And, a draw away at Stamford Bridge, in hindsight, isn't the worst result. I'm still a little bit annoyed at the performance, but let's go with your thoughts first. What are your standout highlights, moments, feelings of the match?
Oh, it's a tricky one because I'm sort of in your camp as well, and maybe it's testament to how well we played on the day. But the final whistle went, and I was a bit like there was something there. There was something more there for us because I think that now I was looking at the stats just before we started recording, and we only had 38% possession. And with the eye test, I wouldn't have. That's not what I would have said at all.
No.
I feel like Chelsea were, particularly pre-red card, we were pretty dominant, I would have said. We looked fitter. I don't know if that is the case, but we looked it. We really seemed to get behind the spirit of the derby, which is nice to see for a change in the Premier League. A lot of derbies just pass by without incident now, and we look really up for it. And yeah, overall synopsis, we'll get into the nitty-gritty and different incidents throughout the game, but I left thinking, you know what? Like, as you said, on paper, if you'd have given me Burnley win, Barca win, Arsenal draw before they all kicked off, I'd have been like, you know what? Yeah. Horrible sweaty early kick-off at Turf Moor, Barcelona and Arsenal. It's not a bad return, but when you watch the game, you're just like, there was more. We could have gone for it.
I feel the same. The one as well for me that is still stuck in my head is Timber taking it off Gyökeres's head in the final minutes when it come. It was there, and I don't know if the shout wasn't there. Whatever. I feel like another 5 or 6 minutes, another maybe couple chances, but you have the allotted time, and we had long enough. Especially we had long enough versus 10 men to be getting that done.
I will say, I'm not proud of the noise that left my body when I saw that cross go in, and I saw Gyökeres there, and it was horrible. And then, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start. Where were your standouts? Let's talk about the red card then. Let's kick off with that because that really did sort of swing the match. The flow of play, let's say, it's then because you actually went up after that happened. You went up at the beginning of the second half. But the red card, I mean, as soon as you saw it,
it's a tricky one because at full speed, and yeah, I'm glad we're getting this out of the way early because it's kind of my only negative really from the game. So let's just get it out of the way. Avoidance of all doubt, it absolutely was a red card. I've seen a few people say he should have stuck with his original yellow decision. Some people say it wasn't even a yellow, and I'm like,
I saw that.
Come on, like It was. I mean, I'm the first one to call. I mean, my Czech storied history,
Red
particularly.
Cartel.
Yeah.
Anthony Taylor.
Well, yeah, it's another one to add to the list. Like, I think there was a stat that was going around, like his ratio of cards and sendings off against Chelsea and disallowed goals is like ridiculously proportionately higher than against any other club. So, but it was a red. I mean, I think at full speed, it kind of, I thought, oh, that was a bit tasty, but I didn't. I thought it'd be a booking at the very least.
Yeah.
Then the second that I saw it even a little bit slowed down, I was like, yeah, there's not a chance. I loved it. He stayed down for about 5 minutes. I was like,
he
know exactly.
sold it, didn't he?
Yeah, I was like, you know exactly what he's coming here. You're just trying to like put the fake limp on just to get a bit of sympathy and hope.
He almost give it the like David Luiz cheeky look up just to see if Marino was actually hurt and was like, oh shit, yeah, better all around here.
For a split second, when I saw the yellow in Anthony Taylor's hand, I was like, "Oh, can't believe he's fucking got away with that massively." But then I just thought, "There's a check coming here, and he is going." And it was a storm. I don't think it like Marino at the end of the game was calling it like a horror challenge, and I think he was being a bit dramatic. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't malicious. He just got there a bit late, and he was just. I don't think it was like an absolute fucking. It wasn't what's his name? Ryan Shawcross on Aaron Ramsey.
There's a thing there that where I disagree slightly. He has like it's moving so fast and in real time, like he just misses out at the ball. But this is also someone who is in the category of best midfielder in the Premier League world, one of the top performers. He's an elite athlete and he knows exactly what he's doing. And I sort of felt something was coming. The yellow cards were flowing. And Caicedo was definitely on one. Like, he's not usually aggressive. He's a lot more Kante than Roy Keane. Like it.
Yeah, he's not like. I would say he does have an aggressive style of play. I think aggressive's a fair word, but it's like it's not dirty. It's not Lee Catamol. It's like.
But he felt like he was like whatever speech Maresca had given him. Like you said, the emotion was there. It really sunk in with him, and he was. There was a few fouls leading up to it. So I feel like it's one of them where you're charged up and you're going in a little bit reckless, a little bit less controlled than you might do. And that's where people get hurt. And that's just what happens. I don't think he's a particularly dirty player or anything, but it's just one of them where you G'd up. He's already, I think he did one on Timber that wasn't even a free kick, but he'd just gone straight through the back of him.
Yeah, he's clattered him. And it's one of them, like, in a big derby, you don't mind seeing a few of those, do you? You want a little bit of bite, but yeah, and I think he just got it wrong. Like you said, he was a bit hyped up, and he just got it wrong. And it is what it is. The best of players will do, like, even the top players will just get it wrong, and he did. And it could have gone really south from there. So,
but you're right. Like Chelsea did have the main share of the pressure, if you will, in the first half. There weren't loads of clear-cut chances either side. I think we had a shot early on from Saka that was tame. A few of them he's skied into the roof of the net and they've been great, but it was down. I think Martinelli had one, and then there might have been a couple from yourselves, but there weren't much in terms of clear chances.
No.
In the first half.
No, it was...
Esteban hit a few over as well. And
Yeah, and we had those fairly early, and he looked like he was giving Calafiori a bit of an hard time on that wing.
Well, that would be there with, I think, all of our left backs really. That is where someone's cutting in, and there's a style that players do it. Madueke and Saka are quite good at it, where they give themselves a lot of room between themselves and the defender. So the covering left back just does have to come in a lot. They're just great at it. It is what it is. That's where and how they get a lot of their goals and the shots away and stuff. What you're always worried about is him turning in for pace, which he didn't do, but he's still getting shots away. So there was that to worry about. That as people can maybe imagine, on Derby Day, the WhatsApp group is flowing. And as soon as that red card went in, I was like, this is the inevitable evening up of this match is coming.
Yeah.
We'd had about 3 or 4 yellows at this point.
Yeah.
You'd had a couple and then the red. And one of my comments was that we need to get everyone who's on a yellow, we need to get them off.
Yeah.
And you can see, because I don't think he would have taken Zubimendi off if that was the case, even for more of an attacking change. I don't think Zubimendi's the one you take off. I think Calafiori came off at half-time for Skelly. I can't remember who else. I think did Ben White come on? Maybe I'm not sure. Regardless, that and then obviously we're starting the second half, clearly pushing now to take advantage of this. But yourselves made changes as well. I think that for the same reason, taking off people on yellows as well. You don't want it being any worse, and then you go and get the goal.
Yeah, it's interesting though. You talk about the yellows. We actually had one yellow card the whole game. Cucurella. It was because it was one of those like the narrative of the game was it was
felt
a bit
like more. Yeah,
it was a bit of a fight. There was a lot of problem. There was, but it was all you lot. You lot were getting all the bookings. We just got the red, which was fair. But yeah, the halftime changes. I think Maresca was one because I said to you as soon as the red card came, I was like, enjoy those 3 points. That was the first because we've proven in other games where we've got red cards, which I shouldn't have multiple to talk about, but I do. Yeah. We've kind of crumbled and we've not really known what to do. I like that Maresca didn't really. I think he didn't really do anything at first. I think that was kind of the right move because we were dominant. We were bossing the game. We were doing really well up to then. It was like just chill for a minute. You're 10 minutes from half time. Just see how you get on. Like stick to the script. And I think he took Estevao off for Garnacho, which I think was smart because it basically gave Garnacho a very physical job to do. It was run up and down that fucking touchline.
Yeah.
Just help Cucurella, who's on a yellow. And he wasn't really there to provide that extra attacking threat. He did all right, I thought, Garnacho. But yeah, I think the changes from us were measured, I thought. And
I got to say, I think Chelsea were arguably the best team we've played this season, aside along with Bayern and Slavia Prague. But it was such a good 10-men performance. Like, really annoyingly good.
Class.
And you don't see that a lot, where you still had chances and, dominated possession for a while and pressed on and pushed it in the half. And I don't know if we were allowing it or we wanted it to, but usually at 10 minutes, backs against the wall, we'll keep the ball and you try and keep it out.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't know, you wouldn't have guessed. If you didn't stop to count the number of players on the pitch, you probably wouldn't have really clocked that we were down a man. And I think that's maybe where I was a little bit, I don't want to say, maybe disappointed is the word in Arsenal because obviously I watch way more Chelsea than I do Arsenal. And there's been a lot of talk recently, particularly leading up to this game, that Arsenal are the best team in Europe and you went and smashed Bayern, so fair. Like they were probably favourites for the Champions League before that game. So you're kind of like, okay, fair. But then so going into that game, I'm expecting, and I know that you didn't have your main two centre-halves, but from every time that Mosquera or Hincapie's come in, I'm told that there's been no drop-off. So I'm kind of like, no. Well, let's keep the same energy for it. So I was maybe a bit disappointed in how you approached it because I was expecting for us to get absolutely fucking hammered after that.
I don't want to use... Yeah, look, we can't use the tired excuse. Despite having two massive games.
I'm seeing this loads, like different outlets saying, "Oh, fatigue's caught up." Like you played the same amount of games that we have.
I certainly don't think that is the case.
I don't know where this is coming from.
You've got very high emotional games, like playing the Champions League favourites, playing Spurs, and then yourselves. They're very demanding in terms of the build-up to the game as well. It's not just in terms of the game itself. So, but you can't say that players are tired and also say we've got the biggest squad in Europe and we've got all these players coming back. That ain't the case, and that certainly wouldn't be what I think. For me, where we went wrong, I think our wingers just had a terrible day. Whichever way you want to paint it. But Eze was pretty quiet.
I'm not going to lie, it was only when the camera zoomed in on him on about 20 minutes. I was like, I didn't even fucking know he was there. I genuinely don't remember seeing him do anything.
Martinelli never got going. I thought Saka's final product, he got the assist, but in general, his final product was way below his usual self.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Madueke was very Chelsea when he came on. It was very Chelsea Madueke. That was the Madueke who I didn't want. In fairness to him, he's done great for us since he's been in, but that wasn't it. And when you're trying to stretch play, and you're playing against 10 men and you're popping off to one winger and eventually cycling it to the other one, you need some sort of end product down the line. And it just wasn't there all day. And I think that's what cost us in the end. You could put on Odegaard, you can play around with it fancy and stuff, but if the ball's not getting in there in the end, it's just really frustrating. And what, I said maybe a couple more chances, but we might have been playing for another half hour and we might not have scored just with the way things are going. So that was left a sour taste in my mouth. But since I've slept on it, I'm thinking, like you said, the 7 points from a possible 9 in them 3 games, the big Champions League one, and then them, and especially with everyone dropping points sort of the weekend before, we're still in a great spot. 5 points clear. Who's second? City are second, and you're one. So 6 still clear of you, and then 5 of City. Like I'm a lot more comfortable once Mourinho scored, and obviously he's going to score because he's the greatest striker on planet Earth. But as soon as that goal went in, I sort of relaxed, and then I was like, right, I can almost live with a draw here. That being said, still frustrated with it. The more I've looked at it.
No, I totally agree. It's a weird one, isn't it? So such a weird, that weird conflict of like, this is good, but it's also shit, and it's a bit shit, but it's also quite good. And I think it's that tantalizing. Like if we win with 3 points off, and it's really nothing in it, and then all we've then got to do is just be ready when you slip. Because I feel like if we did beat you, that's sort of like because Arsenal are getting this reputation, aren't they, of like, you're imperious, no one can beat you, it's impossible, you can't even get a shot. Like in October, that whole like not even a shot on target conceded. But then a team goes and does you, particularly if we did it with 10 men, it might send the signal around the league to other teams like, you don't gotta respect them, but you don't need to be scared. Like you can go and do something.
Yeah, and there's a little bit on that as well. I think Chelsea were great, and your wingers especially are so quick, all of them, that they're a pest. Like I don't think there's a great amount of quality from Neto and Garnacho, Gittins. No, even Estevao was a little bit off it in terms of delivery, and he's been good and he's been impressive.
I thought it was poor. I thought it was poor in this game.
A lot of them, they are a pest. It's like having 6 Martinellis you've got just absolutely running people ragged. They're a nightmare, like 6 wasps you've got up front. They are a nightmare to deal with, and they are in your face, and they're very Chelsea, all of them. It's real.
Yeah,
that would be my point. So my end of this point is, I think this draw, while it isn't the points you wanted, and let's get Liam's point in here, but there's been talking down of a Chelsea title race while some others have been trying to talk it up. I think this has done great for the Chelsea title push propaganda machine that might be coming, because I think,
led by Liam,
I think that if anyone had any doubts that they weren't going to be in that closest chasing pack, then I think then any worries about that were quashed this week. What do you think as a Chelsea fan in terms of now maybe you're in the group of we're not ready for a title race and we expect to fall off at some point, to now Cole Palmer being back on the bench? No, he didn't get on, but like you sort of getting him back as a bit of a talisman, and then maybe pushing as best you can.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very much been in the camp. It's well documented, as Liam loves to point out. I'm very, very reluctant to be all in on this. I think this whole title race thing is a bit silly, and I've seen some other people mention this. Like Arsenal was second last year. You weren't really in a race. Like you were second.
Yeah.
The use of the word title race, I think, was a bit loose to describe that. And you could say that about other years when City have won it. Yeah. Every year Chelsea have won it. It's never been a race, has it? We've always just fucking
I think
away.
The first of our 3 second places was the one where we were in a race, a title race, and the rest we've fallen off.
Yeah, exactly. So I've always been a little bit reluctant, but I think the one thing that's changed for me is like I said, that at the end of that game, I was like, because this whole narrative about Arsenal being best team in Europe, best team in England, they're impossible to beat. You're not. You're not.
You dented the armour a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. And I'm kind of like, if this is the best, if you boys are genuinely, you are the best team in the country, I think. But I think the level of best that you are is maybe, now that I've seen that, and when the narrative of Chelsea is we're inconsistent with this, with that, if you see that performance that we put in, either the narrative about us is a bit wrong, or the narrative about you is a bit wrong. And either way, I'm a bit like, what do we have to be worried about? If this is this kind of shift that we can put in against the champions elect, why can't we go and win it?
What you did against PSG at the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Is that is Chelsea personified. This Chelsea personified anyway, in terms of you've stumbled your way to the final, really, in terms, especially your draw all the way there. And then it's like PSG, you've bashed everyone aside and battered everyone and left everyone in the wake. And then Chelsea go, oh, we'll just fucking beat them.
Yeah, we'll just smash them. Yeah, we'll just batter them. And we did. And it's one of those, like, we seem to do well in that scenario where no one really gives us a chance. And then it's like, well, fuck you, fucking watch us. I don't know what it is about us, but yeah, now that I've seen what we can do against who the best team in the country is, I'm like, well, why can't we go and win a league if we're only 6 points off? Albeit we've now got to rely on you. The problem is now you've got to slip up and we can't. We've got to be there ready. And you'll remember like last few years when you boys have been chasing that feeling of like, if you go and lose to, if you got next, I can't remember
we have next. Brentford this week, depending on when you're listening. We've got quite a favourable run of fixtures now.
Yeah.
This is a point I'm going to bring up in the second half, but I'm never going to say an easy game. We've got Brentford on Wednesday, Villa away on Saturday. It's a weird one, Villa away. There's always a bit of needle, there's always a bit of something.
Yeah. And funnily enough for Villa, for all the talk of Chelsea being in the race, they're on the same points as us. They're identical. So it's kind of like
Wolves, Everton.
Yeah, we've got Everton soon as well.
We've not got not the worst, and we've played a lot of the big teams now. I don't think you have really played many of the big teams. Certainly away from home either.
No, we've played Liverpool at home, Arsenal at home now. We've got to play City twice. We've got to play Newcastle twice. We've not played Villa yet.
There's them matches where I think
they're the games where I feel like where you won at St James's, didn't you?
We won at St James's. We obviously drew with Man City, lost at Anfield, and that's still our only loss. You know, won at Old Trafford, beat Spurs already. These big games that we're leading up to are out the way now. And I do think our consistency is going to pull us away. I think Liam mentioned earlier on in the season about City's away form clearly is going to be a problem for them. We saw that this week they'd lost 2 before snatching it late against Leeds.
Kind of flattering to deceive a bit, City, aren't they? They're in there, but when you actually watch them, you're like, you boys are a bit shit, actually.
They're big.
They're not that great.
And yeah, I know Foden got 2, but he scored in the first and the 91st minute.
Yeah.
And from everything I saw, so what I do when I have a gig on a Saturday, I come home and I'm still got that adrenaline running. So instead of watching Match of the Day, I watch the extended highlights that Sky put out. So I try and watch about 10 minutes of each match that they put together instead. City weren't in it. City with Leeds, Farker out Guardiola.
Yeah,
like, he turned the tables on it. Anyway, we'll get to that. Chelsea, Arsenal still. So I think our consistency is what's going to pull us away. Our next, the hardest match I'm looking for now is City away. It's our last hard match, really. That's going to be the title, and that's mid-April.
Right.
And realistically, I'm thinking the title done by then.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you? You get to that point, it should be. I mean, I hope it'd be cool if it's not. We've not had anything that tight for a while, but
yeah, the neutral in me thinks, yeah, cool. The big part of me thinks, get this done in Feb. I want it. I want it done.
Yeah, but you never know. Like some of these other teams that you could come up against, because you've got to go to Spurs again, haven't you? Or is it at Spurs?
Yeah. No, we've got to go to Spurs.
Which I wouldn't be worried about if I were you. They're absolutely dreadful.
That seems like the best place to be playing at the moment.
Yeah, there are some horrible grounds. Like, got to go to Everton. You got to go to Forest still.
Probably. Yeah. That sounds right.
So, and again, you just never know with the Premier League. Like, our losses this year are United when they were relegation fodder. Brighton, who were somehow fifth. I don't know how that's happened. Sunderland. And you'd have said that Chelsea would have battered all 3 of them. So you just never know.
This is a point I'm going to make in the second half, so we'll come back to that. So for Chelsea, let's call it a title race is on? Question mark?
I think it is. I think now that we've put in what I think is a great performance, and again, I don't want to celebrate a draw.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you about. There is a raising of the game as well. When you have a point to prove, they were calling it a 6-pointer for Chelsea. It's bigger for you to win than a loss hurts us, if you know what I mean. The win is more valuable to you than the loss hurts us.
Yeah, I think that's true.
If that makes any sense.
No, like you could have lost that game and been like, it's fine. Yeah. Whereas for us, that's almost like a season-defining win if we get it.
So there is the raising of the game, and like you were fantastic against Barcelona. I watched most of that, and then you've gone and done it again straight away. And I think there is a real potential for a good team there, and it is coming.
Yeah, I agree.
I got a sneaky feeling you're gonna break your transfer mold soon for someone big, but that's a story for another day. What we're gonna do is have a quick break. And thank you to everyone who's been listening so far. Do all the fun, cool stuff like liking and sharing and subscribing and following all the right platforms. You can find all the information on our website. It's down below if you're watching online. If you're listening, it's in the show description, so follow them. We've got some fun shows coming up. We've got some interviews with some cool guests lined up that they'll be coming up soon. Christmas quiz is planned and ready. Do you know what I need to? The last couple of years, I've done like a TV show theme. Last year was Tenable. If you didn't watch that, go and check it out. But so I'm trying to think of a new one. Needs to keep Luke visually stimulated.
Yeah, otherwise, it'll just be an absolute disaster.
Liam gets distracted easy, and so I need to think of that. Anyway, join us in a second. We'll be back. And we're back.
We're back. But mine, I'm horrified at myself, and I would be remiss if I allowed us to move on to discussing other far less important matters. Then, if I didn't take a minute to talk about Reece James,
good one.
So, it's getting to the point where I'm running out of superlatives to talk about with this guy, and I'd like to get your take as an opposition fan at the moment, but as someone who watches it, and of course I have a little bit of my blue lenses are on, but I don't think there's anybody in the game that I can think of at the moment who is as complete and all-round of a player as Reece James. And that performance, the whole talk around going into this game was, it's Rice, Caicedo, who's going to come out? Fucking neither of them. Caicedo got himself sent off, and Declan Rice didn't do a great deal from what I could see. He didn't really influence the game. And I think a large part of it is because Reece James just said, fuck that. And it was like one of the best captain's performances I've seen. He saw his team go down to 10 men. And he's never been this like vocal leader. He's not like a John Terry or anyone else who go screaming at his teammates.
He looks it now.
Yeah, but I think it's just he leads by what he does on the field, and you look and you think he's the main man. And he was just, for me, he was head and shoulders above everyone on the pitch. And I think he's been that way for a long time now. I know he's not been injured for over a year. I think we're looking at one of the best players on the planet.
A year seems like a long time. I mean, it is a long time. It's certainly a long time for him. That's been always my main go-to against Reece James. He's just not fit. We've just not seen him play enough football. That isn't the case anymore. And I think Maresca is doing good stuff to manage it. He's already said that he won't be playing midweek. Like, he can't play midweek. Fair enough. Sometimes you've got to manage players like this. He's a great player. He's so good. He has got everything. We've seen him. He's scored free kicks for England. He's scoring free kicks for England. Everything a right back needs to be. He's good enough to. He is someone. And a lot of talk there was about Trent going into centre midfield because of his passing. I hated that, and especially as someone who played in centre midfield, like that, it isn't the same just because you're good at passing. There's an awareness, there's a positioning that you have to your game to be a centre midfielder that I never saw in Trent. Yes, totally he has the Beckham pass in him, the 100-yard ball or whatever you want to call it. He's great, but he never had the positional awareness. This is why you get getting caught at right back. You get caught at right back. Centre midfield's certainly not the place for you. Reece James doesn't. He rarely gets beat for pace unless you're talking someone exceptional, the Mbappés of the world. He never gets out-muscled off the ball. He misses the odd pass. I think that is the one thing that I would ever hold against him. He's got a stray pass in him every now and then, which annoys the shit out of you because he's so good. That I've seen, it's minuscule in comparison to what he gives you, especially as a captain now. And he is Mr. Chelsea now. He's everything that you need.
Yeah, he is.
the only thing that I would ever say against him is we just haven't seen enough of him, and that's why, for example, like he should have been England's right back 4 years ago. Kyle Walker's been great, but he's also been 36 for forever. Like he's,
yeah.
Reece James has been in his prime for a long time, sat in hospital. Like he hasn't played a lot of football, and maybe now we're seeing the benefits of him having some proper rest. You've suffered without him. As a footballer, I haven't got a bad word to say about him. I think he's class. I think he's so good.
Did find in the build-up, as much as the Rice Caicedo, there's been a lot of Timber James chat. And for the record, I'm going to say I think Jurriën Timber's fucking brilliant. I genuinely think he's really, really good.
Yeah.
And he surprised me as to the level that he's at. But I feel like when I was hearing these conversations, I'm like, let's just, no. We're talking, in my opinion at least, a completely different caliber of player. You're talking...
I honestly think we're dealing with the top two there in terms of right backs.
Yeah, I'm thinking overall package of player. Like Reece James could play pretty well. I've seen it. Some of the finishes I've seen him do for Chelsea as well. Yeah. I'm confident you could put him striker, right wing, centre mid, right back. He doesn't play centre half. He can do it all. And I think one thing I always love to see is you see these clips of like you see it at the England camp. Who's the strongest guy in training? Who's hardest to get past? James. Always Reece James. Every winger. Who's the hardest right back you've come up against? It's always Reece James if they've played him. And I just think that England have got an absolute fucking gem of a player that we could use in so many roles. And it's easy to see why Tuchel is like desperate to fucking play him at every opportunity. And I think for Chelsea, we've got a player that I always class a world-class player as someone who could probably go to any team on the planet and start. And
that's how I describe it, probably.
And I don't think there's a team on earth, if Reece James was available, wouldn't want him. I think he's one of the best. I think he's already Chelsea's greatest ever right back, and I think he probably will go down as one of the Premier League's all-time icons, I think.
Yeah, and how old is he now? What we saying?
25, 24? He's not old.
He's still got that time. And you know what? I mentioned him, but Kyle Walker had his injury problems, if you remember, at Spurs for a long time. And it can get on top of that, and whether it was the super juice that they give to you at Man City, or just his body, him getting used to his body and knowing how to train or looking after himself better. But that's why he's still playing now at 36, 37.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe there is that for Reece James. I like him as a footballer. I hate that he's a Chelsea player.
In fact, he's never fucking leaving either, is he? He's
like him and his sister at Arsenal. Like, I'm sure there's a Reece James Arsenal link.
I fucking hope not.
So there was certainly Lauren James was certainly at Arsenal at one point.
I don't care if he was 5 years old. I don't want to see that shit. Normally, there's a picture. So I always remember there was a tweet. Someone tweeted. I don't know who it was. Some random. It was like Reece James to Arsenal. Who says no? And from his official account, he replied, "I say no." And I was like, yes. Oh, he's proper Chelsea the boy. I fucking love him. But yeah, I couldn't let that performance pass by because in a game that was made all about pretty much everybody else.
That's fair.
He was that guy. He was unbelievable.
I'd love to have a comeback on you, but yeah, it's like you're talking with someone who actually knows football these days and not someone who's just willing to argue for the sake of it. What we'll say on Timber is I've been fairly critical of him, and especially because I always liked Ben White and Saka. I thought they had a great partnership, and it seems to have taken a minute to get that Timber and Saka one, even though Arteta has persisted. Timber has really grown into that role. He can do everything. He can turn. He turns everybody. He's class. He just shoves his ass into him. He's out. He's out the way. He's great one-on-one defender. He's now great at going forward, which was always my gripe, that Ben White is so good at overlapping. Timber never really offered it. He always wanted it to feet, wanted to be technical with it and play it inside and whatever. He seems to have advanced that on his game, and that's why I think he'll be putting out. Maybe he's been the most consistent performing right back. It helps that we're not conceding any goals, so that's always a factor.
Yeah,
as a player, that you ain't going to find. I agree. I'm trying to think. While I've been chatting shit, I've been trying to think of a more complete all-round player.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
struggling.
he's one of the few that, and like I said, like there's been a lot of talk about complete Declan Rice's, and for large parts I agree, but I don't think you could put Declan Rice at right back. I don't think that'd be a disaster.
I honestly, I do. I think you could put him in net, and I think you'd get something worldy out of him. I just think he's, yeah, Declan Rice is right up there in that list as well. I like to think.
I was going to ask, we didn't get to it in the first half. What did you make of Rice on, just very quickly, I guess, but what did you make of Rice? I personally didn't see a great deal of him. I don't think he did much of note.
Fine game. How can I say it? Don't know. There isn't the same flow with Eze as number 10 that when Rice pushes on, and you get that best bit out of him. With Ødegaard, and in fact, I saw, if it was David Moyes who was doing something on Reddit this week, and they were talking. Honestly,
how does he know that Reddit exists?
Hear me out. David Moyes is underrated, but they were talking about who's the hardest players to prepare to come up against, and I don't think he's the first one to say it, but it come up this week that Ødegaard is a nightmare to prepare to play against because he's everywhere and he's nowhere. He's in the pocket, he's on the left wing, he's at right back. He's intricate, he's very unpredictable, and obviously he's fantastic with most of the time his final delivery. I'd like him to get a few more goals and stay fit for a few weeks, but David Moyes said Ødegaard, with that you get big pockets for Declan Rice to be in. And with Eze, who's so controlled and fantastic, he's great in the pocket, he stays in the pocket. He doesn't go roaming the same. Personally, that's why I like to see him out on the left a little bit more, but we'll find out how that happens in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, fair.
So I think Eze hanging around the number 10, it's not out that Gyökeres hasn't been there for a few weeks now, that we're not seeing that. With what you do get with Rice is an unbelievable consistency from set pieces. I mean, say what you want about us being set piece FC or whatever, you still got someone to whip it in, and it is on the money every time.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Very, very good.
With his game against Chelsea, fine. He didn't do anything crazy impressive. He didn't let us down. He was in and around the main bits of where we needed him to be, and I think when we needed to push on, he sat back when I would have liked him to push on. But that being said, what I did want to talk to you about is a point that you made a little bit before about the Premier League and how unpredictable things can be. I'm getting the feeling this season that the Premier League is maybe the strongest we've seen it ever. And I don't know if that is a collective drop in quality where everyone's bunching up or everyone is raising the game. I just don't think you can sleep on any team at any moment. There is no banker 3 points. We've seen City at Leeds. Was it at Leeds or was it at City?
He was at
City.
Yeah, it was at City. Yeah, it was at home.
Daniel Farke's making changes at 2-0 2-0 down? 1-0 down? 2-0 down. He's making changes at 2-0 down and coming back to 2-0 against the Man City side when usually the teams who are just come up, the freshly promoted, the relegation fodder, they're meant to lie over and roll around for City. They're meant to just sit back, you do your thing, Haaland can have his 5 goals and someone else can have 1.
Yeah.
And please, sir, let us have a consolation because it'll look good at the end of the season. That's usually what happens. That is just not the case anymore. I don't know what it is in particular this season, whether it is the reliance on set pieces and things like that being more of an asset for teams. I'm trying to put my finger on what is happening other than a dramatic upping in quality around the league.
Yeah, I feel like it's I almost feel like it's a bit of a cop out to say, the league's got worse. To connect the league's got worse because Sunderland beat Chelsea or because Brighton beat United or whatever. Like Liverpool have been getting pumped by everybody this year. Is Liverpool's maybe a bit of an outlier because they've just been in an absolutely horrific vein of form. But I like to think that everyone else is getting better because that's the story I would like it to tell. But then again, you look at who's in the bottom half of the table and who's in the top half. I'm looking at it now. The bottom half contains Everton, Newcastle, Spurs, Fulham, Forest, West Ham. Big clubs who have spent a lot of money and invested. And Newcastle, everyone was telling me they were nailed on for Champions League. I don't know where the fuck that team's gone, but having said that, they're in the lowest, 14th are Everton. Everton, Newcastle, and Spurs are all on 18 points, and they're only 3 points away from 7th. That's how tight everything is, and even for all this talk of a Chelsea title charge, Brighton are 2 points behind us, Sunderland are 2 points behind us, United are only 3, Liverpool are still only 3 points off third.
I would not be confident about playing anyone from City down to Forest, who was 16th.
Yeah. The only games I could see I'd be like really, really like, where's that come from? Is Wolves. And
yeah.
Poor Wolves, bless them. I'd like them to start getting a few wins, so I'm feeling a bit bad for them. And I think West Ham are shocking as well, to be honest.
West Ham are terrible. They are so poor to watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
horrible.
Sorry, Ash's mum, for what I'm about to say, but like, it's a nightmare to watch West Ham. And we have family who are West Ham fans, and it's, I can't wait to laugh at them at the end of the season, because I really don't think it's going to end well at the moment. I could just see Leeds doing a little bit more than West Ham. Unfortunately, and I think it's going to really stink the place out, because it's already not a great vibe there. I just think the overall quality is fantastic now, and it's really hard to watch. And you can just see, if anyone takes the foot off the gas for a second, Liverpool should be able to not be at the best, maybe not win the league, but not be being pumped every week, not be being walked over every week.
Yeah. And I was just looking, actually, and it's quite interesting. I don't know if we'd have to double check this against other seasons, but normally if there's teams in the bottom 3, they're getting smashed, they're not scoring a lot of goals. Every team is kind of scoring a decent amount of goals. Like even Bournemouth in 11th have 21 goals in 13, Spurs have 21, Newcastle have 17, West Ham have 15 goals in 13 games. And for a team who are scrapping relegation, typically you'd expect a few, goalless outings, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Everyone seems to be finding a way, especially fucking Brentford and this Igor Thiago. He's stat padding his way to a golden boot, this fucker. I've never heard of him before. He's absolutely incredible. But yeah, I agree that there is no easy game. You could get turned over by anybody at any time. And I think that's what makes this league so good. As annoying as it is that we could put in that performance against you boys and then go to Ellen Road on Wednesday and get fucking done. Like, it's infuriating, but it's kind of what makes it what it is.
If you include, here's a thought I had before, if you include the top 5 leagues in Europe, if you was doing a list of the top clubs in Europe, where's the lowest a Premier League team ends up on that list?
God.
Do you think? I think no Premier League club is outside the top 50 clubs in Europe.
Probably agree with that, because I'm actually thinking, I'm trying to reverse engineer this and work backwards. I'm trying to think, if it was a free for all, who would make it in the Premier League from other leagues? And you've got PSG, Barca, Real Madrid, maybe Atletico.
I don't think they're them clubs. I think they do well on the big occasions against us. I don't think they live, a month in the Premier League having to scrap every other night, away at Burnley, away at Wolves. All these clubs were, yes, Barcelona. I can feel O'Meara in his hideaway in some island off the coast of Africa.
His fucking Rashford shirt.
In his Rashford shirt, rolling his eyes. I can feel him. But like the pressure that the Premier League builds up on you, you have to be elite. And that's why we do so well in Europe. Yes, we get beat in the final occasionally. And yes, we don't win it every season. But more often than not, there's a couple of Premier League clubs in the quarterfinals and semi-finals of the top European competitions at all levels.
That's actually, you made me think of a question. Why do you think that English teams in the non-Champions League competitions don't tend to really... Because I think, like, there are some teams who get into the Europa League, or now the Conference League, and I'm thinking, just make this your entire season. Like, fuck the league off. You're going to stay up. For the most part, you're more than likely going to be fine.
Like Palace in the Conference League, or
like
Forest,
And Strasbourg beat them. I'm sort of a pseudo Strasbourg fan now. And we're building
proxy.
They're actually building a great... Like, this is sort of... Obviously, I've got my eye on... There's already one Strasbourg player who's due to sign for Chelsea, and it says 2026. I don't know if it's going to be January or the summer, but it's already been signed. When they lost to Strasbourg, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, fuck the Premier League off. Like, you ain't going to come 18th. You're going to be fine. You've got a good enough team. this is a chance. And I've always wondered why English clubs aren't better in the lower European competitions. I've never really been able to work it out.
For the same reason of why I said the big clubs would struggle doing the Premier League week in, week out. If Arsenal swap places with Barcelona for a season, I think we smash La Liga, and I don't think Barcelona win the Premier League.
That's fair.
What was I saying? So I just think the toll of the league season is what ends up taking it apart, where maybe European clubs do think. I think clubs like Forest and Palace and Brighton should be going all out in Europe. What would be better to Brighton to win Europa League or Conference League and stuff like that?
Champions League the following year. And maybe that's the other side of the league being so good and being so valuable. You might win. I think you win about £3 million for winning the Conference League.
Exactly. Is it just more valuable to just stay in the Premier League?
Yeah, it absolutely is. I don't think it's even close. I think the prize money we gained from winning the Conference League was negligible. Probably didn't even cover a week's wages for the squad, but it's a shame because that's what football's about, isn't it? It's like you go to see a team lift fucking cups. That's the whole point.
It's risk v reward. It's a lot of what we spoke about the other week about the financial rules that are coming in, the SCR or whatever. It's some funny acronym that is going to encourage the risk element for a couple seasons before you get curtailed. Maybe we'll see that then. Maybe.
I hope so.
I did have one more point and I forgot it. So let's circle back to that in a minute when it does hit me. Have you got any other points that you've been thinking about for this season? Where we're at in terms of English teams in general, the state of the league? I'm just waffling until my point comes back to me.
I think you do make a good point about the strength of the league, and I think it is probably as good as it's been for a while. And I just fucking love that Liverpool are doing so badly while it's so good. That's I'm just looking at the table now, it's just fucking magical seeing Liverpool so poor. But then again, we get done by Leeds and they beat whoever it is they're playing. I'm not laughing so much because they're fucking on level points with us again.
Yeah, let's have a preview for midweek when you play Wednesday or Tuesday. Does everyone play Wednesday?
Oh, let's have. I think we definitely play Wednesday. Let's see.
Forgive us while we both Google this. No, there is Tuesday and Wednesday matches. So Tuesday we're going to have Bournemouth v Everton, Fulham versus Man City, Newcastle v Spurs, which I think should be a good game.
El Shitico.
Yeah, and the tide's turning on Thomas Frank. People aren't happy, and there's something about the Tottenham players feeling a disconnect with the fans. You might want to try it at home. That'll help. That'll really help the fans.
Did you see that goal? The second Fulham goal.
I'm sorry, but
what?
There is in no world where Thomas Frank can be blamed for this. Like, I feel really sorry for him. The writing's on the wall now, but Tottenham are going to spaff away a fantastic manager because of absolutely dire recruitment and just a horrendous connection from them being current Europa League champions, having a Champions League run, and being absolutely dog shit.
Yeah.
So poor to themselves. Like, they are bad to themselves. They somehow scored 3 goals against PSG in the week.
Yeah. Staggering.
It's mind-boggling that it must be. Like, I like to think of Everton as the social experiment of what one team can do to a man and for them to still be. But Tottenham are right up there. Like, to be a Tottenham supporter must be absolutely soul-destroying.
It must be like, you must remember this. Do you know the episode of The Simpsons where there's Frank Grimes? And he's like, he's seeing how Homer just goes through life. Like, I'm Homer Simpson. And he just like bumbles through.
You're an astronaut!
Yeah. He's got pictures with the president. Frank Grimes just losing his fucking mind.
He's just a guy. He's an idiot.
Yeah. And they just bumble through. And it just works. And
he's an idiot.
We all know someone like that. And it's fucking infuriating. But yeah, I think, one thing I will say, though, as a bit of a counterpoint, I don't think Thomas Frank's doing himself a lot of favours either in how he's like, I don't think he's managing the crowd and the fans very well.
You must be losing his fucking mind. There's absolutely...
Well, you see Vicario playing fucking left back and not just kicking it into the stands for a throw. I don't know what he was doing, but fucking hell. Like, it was...
I bet Who was it who scored? What's he called?
Harry Wilson, was it?
Harry
Was it
Wilson.
Yeah.
He's a great player. Him. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, he is good.
Yeah, I bet he just couldn't believe it. I bet he's like, someone give me this ball quick. This guy's miles away.
He was staggered. But I think he's saying, like, he came out with some comments after the game, Thomas Frank, and he says, because I think Vicario got a bit of shit off the fans, and rightly so. Like, you pay, I think Spurs are probably charging an arm and a leg for their home games.
It's top whack. It's top dollar.
If you go and see your goalkeeper do that, you're going to be like, you're going to boo the shit out of him. It's like, what are you doing? And then he's saying, anyone who boos is not a real Spurs fan. And it's like, hold on, mate. Like, these people pay good fucking money to go and watch this nonsense from you. And you can't blame them for not being happy with what they're seeing. So I feel like he's kind of I feel like he needs to be careful, because if he keeps saying things like that, the fans aren't going to care even if he wins a few.
Yeah.
This guy's a prick anyway, so fucking get rid of him. When you lose
if I was not an Arsenal fan, I would be pleading with them to give Thomas Frank time. Because I think he's a great manager. Do I care what happens to Spurs in the long run? No. May this reign of hilarious shitness continue. Can't think of a better word. I hope that comes up in the captions at some point.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday night, we've got that completes the fixtures. We've got Arsenal, Brentford, Brighton, Villa, which is ironically on Sky Sports Cricket, which is equally
That's
boring.
Weird, isn't
it? Wolves v Forest, which is on Sky Sports F1. Burnley v Palace, which is on Sky Sports Chess.
Yeah.
And Leeds, Chelsea, Liverpool, Sunderland. Liverpool, Sunderland will be an interesting one, because Sunderland are good. Yeah, they probably need 10 points to guarantee it now. They're on 22. They could easily take their foot off and coast their way to the end of the season and do what they need to do. Maybe they have higher hopes for Europe? I hope so, because I'd like to see Sunderland in the Conference League, for example, because I do feel in their current vein, they're a team who might go for it.
Yeah, they should. And I think it's one of those, they were clearly expecting, probably a bottom half finish.
17th. If you'd offered any of them clubs 17th at the start of the season, they'd have gone, yeah, done.
Yeah. But when you're there, you got to be like, fuck it, we're here now.
You got to be.
Yeah, you've got to be like us at the Club World Cup. When it started, I didn't really want to be there because I was worried about someone getting injured.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Now you're here. Go on and fucking do something with it.
I agree.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, a few tasty games there. The Brentford-Arsenal one will be good, because Brentford have been loads better than I expected. I thought they'd be dross this year.
I mean, we're all reassessing our pre-season predictions, but
yeah, none of us are looking good on that.
Keith Andrews has done far better than anyone expected. Probably even himself a little bit. I mean, fair play to him. He must have expected that the hammer was coming down at some point soon, and the guy's, I mean, he's making it work, whatever it is, in whatever form, shape or form. It's coming together for them enough for them to be not looking over their shoulder just yet.
Yeah, totally agree.
They may have a run of... The thing with Brentford is Brentford could go and win the next 8 games. No one really knows why they're mid-table still.
Yeah, they'd still be 10th.
Or they could, but they could easily again lose the next 8 and be thinking, no, we're in the shit. And you just don't see it. They've done well. So fair play to them. I mean, that isn't anything that I don't think anyone expected. I think most people had them right down there.
100%.
So, a tasty week. And then, then at the weekend, we've got Villa away. That's early Saturday. I'd like to box that one off. Nice and early.
That's a tough one, that.
Gyökeres first half hat-trick had really saw me out.
It's a horrible position to be in, that, because you got a tough away day early. This is what we had at Burnley the other week. And it's like, if you do fuck that up in some way, which I'd love you to do, you've then got, we've got a 3 o'clock kickoff. City have got a 3 o'clock, and it's like your tail's going to be up then.
But even a draw encourages people.
100%. 2 points gained, isn't it?
God, this Premier League, man. Right, we're going to wrap it up there. Scott, thanks again, mate.
Anytime.
As always, it's a pleasure. It's like, I feel like it flows. You're not looking at some daft picture of a unicorn behind your head, or you're not checking the cricket scores, and it just flows. It's nice. We can talk about this. We don't have to bring up some other local club who we don't need to speak about this week.
And I think most importantly, there's not a small fridge that is the most integral part of your house. It causes
the
your
main
entire
source of power.
Yeah, if that fridge doesn't work, your entire fucking house implodes. Baffling.
Hopefully he'll be back next week once he's listened to this. And
Yeah.
try to tear us a new one in the WhatsApp group. You can find all information for that and live updates on X if you follow us. Everything's at fixingfootballpodcast.com. Like I said in the first half, please do like, share, subscribe. Keep staying with us. Thank you very much. And we'll see you on the next one. And please remember, I never done nothing.
See you later.